Oh wait, Ham, do you know Mason, Brandon of that?
Is he retard Mason or smart Mason?
He's retard Mason.
Oh yeah, I know retard Mason.
Yeah. So I guess we can jump right in this conversation. In fact, this could potentially be like a 2v2, Apollo and Ham versus me and Mason, if it really busts out that way. But yeah, Mason, do you want to run name the trade on Ham, or do you want me to?
Ham, do you know the name of the trade question?
No, you're gonna have to run it through me.
All right. What is true of the world where we're factory farming animals? And if true of a world where we're factory farming humans, would make you say you're okay with a human holocaust?
Doesn't sound like anything. I'm a vegetarian.
Okay, so to be clear, like you're not necessarily. I mean, you do take a view where you're against factory farming, so to speak. Then.
Yeah. I'm a vegetarian.
Okay. Then, yeah. So then, I mean, yeah. I don't even know. Like, yeah, you're just not taking the view. Then.
Oh wait, so you don't think it's like? Wait, just to be clear, Ham, you think it's like unethical to kill an animal? Like.
Sounds like it. I think we ought to confer. Somebody just yelled at me. Hey, Sebi. Hi, Sebi. I think we should confer respect to fellow creatures. There's analogous traits.
Wait, which animals are you okay with eating? I mean, sorry, which animal products are you okay with eating if you're a vegetarian?
I think eggs seem to be acceptable. Milk is iffy, but eggs seem pretty definite.
Okay.
I think like leather is pretty unacceptable for similar reasons to meat. Yeah.
Wait, guessing by eggs, you mean like free range eggs, right? Like presumably like in a world where we have humans, and we have like them caged up, like the chickens that they have the eggs and stuff, and they steal the eggs. That's wrong there. But even given the human world where you're taking like eggs from humans and stuff, like I'd say it's like wrong or something.
Yeah,
I assume it's like free range eggs or something.
Yeah.
Well, aren't all eggs, or from what I know, they just like the male ones, as soon as they're hatched, they like it just get put into a grinder, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
But why do you guys keep bringing Apollo back on? He's like dodging questions.
Wait, Apollo, do you want to try again and answer the question this time?
He's just going to ask for the obligation. He has to answer the question.
Yeah, he's just going to say, well, why do I need to answer the question?
He's just going to dodge and run away.
Wait, Beyond, to be clear, Ham is not a good faith engager. He's a troll.
Okay, to be fair to Beyond, right, and you, Goons, I specifically troll you. But I think in like literally...
Oh my god, nobody wants to hear this retard.
Okay, fair enough. You can kick me. It's all good. I'm not mad about it.
No. Literally, like, just to be clear,
who the fuck brought Dante up? What? Oh my fucking...
Just to be clear, Ham, he has the exact same like line that he says about everybody, so it's not unique to you.
Dante, do you have premise one yet?
Retard Mason, you're a fucking bitch.
Yeah, he doesn't have premise one.
Yeah, I didn't hear premise one.
Guy's allergic to giving the premise one of the argument.
Just to be clear,
does Apollo have an answer to the NTT question yet?
Oh yeah, let's see, Apollo, do you have an answer to the NTT yet?
Just got a room.
Do you have an answer to my question regarding the relevance of the question?
Sorry, do you have an answer to NTT? That's either you affirm the proposition or not.
Do you have an answer towards my question?
All right, did anybody here affirm the proposition or not?
We're in a fucking stage called debate level 99 vegan. That's the fucking relevance.
Yeah, you're in a vegan server. We're on a vegan stage, and we're debating veganism. The relevance is when you join, you're debating veganism. I know, like, maybe you just can't read social cues. That's fine. We'll try again. Sebi, how you doing, brother?
Just giving one last chance. Do you have an answer to the NTT question or not?
Apollo. Earth to Apollo.
Yeah, so to address Goon's horrible points, I mean, even if the conversation is about veganism.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer to the NTT question or not?
Affirming or denying the proposition? I can't tell.
Well, that was just simply deny the reasons.
Oh, I don't know if that was like affirming or negating
Do
the
you have
proposition.
an answer to the NTT question or not?
Server meeting is so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if that was affirming or negating the proposition. We'll try one more time. We're gonna be super generous here. Okay, we're gonna try this one more time. Apollo, do you affirm or negate the proposition?
Sorry?
Do you have an answer to the NTT question or not?
Yes, I have an answer to the question.
Oh, what's the answer?
You're asking me a question, but you're muting me while you're going to ask me a question.
What is the answer?
The answer to the question is simply that I don't think the question is relevant.
Yeah, that's not an answer to the question.
Oh, I wish that guy would die.
Jesus.
Jesus. Fucking hell.
Oh, we got a person saying they can name the trade on. Let's get them the fuck out of here. Raise your hand, naturalist. Or yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, so can you name the trait that's true of an animal that, if were true of a human, would justify killing those said humans in the way that it would be okay to kill the said animals?
Well, as a more meticulous, I'm going to take more of a contextual approach to name the trait, right? So when we're talking about name the trait, like when I'd rather not have a human die versus an animal.
Wait, no, that's not the. Wait, no, naturalist. Wait, that wasn't the question. To be clear, the question is, what is true of the world where animals are being farmed? If true of a hypothetical world where humans are being farmed, would make you say you're okay with the human holocaust? So that's the question. It's not why you would prefer a human death over an animal death, just to be clear.
Well, yeah.
Right, so explaining your ethical system is not an answer to the question, right?
Well,
if someone asks you the question and they say, well, I'm a deontologist, right? I just want to direct answer the question.
I was going to give you a direct answer, right? But I need to explain the contextual reason why I would give the answer I would give, right?
No, please give either a trait or a set of traits as well. I mean, a set of traits would be an appropriate answer. That's all I'm looking for.
Or a trait or a set of traits? I mean,
so, I shouldn't have just a set of traits. Presumably, if it's one trait, it'd just be a set of just a set of traits. So I'm looking for.
Just a set of traits. Just a set of traits.
Yeah.
Really what? I mean, to be honest, the set of traits I'm going to provide to you would be considered. I think when you're giving name the trait, like again, the argument's going to be like these traits are going to be arbitrary, correct?
Can you just tell me Can you just name what the set of traits are?
Just quite literally, it's human.
Sorry, by what definition are you using? Like a biological definition of human, so like human DNA, some Homo sapien DNA?
Broad definition of what human is.
Sorry, what'd you say?
A broad definition of what human is. So like even
what's the definition of human then?
Well, we're not going to be playing off what definition of what human is. What you broadly conceptualize as human.
Can you just tell me what's your definition of a human?
Human? Just a person in the Homo sapien genus, right?
Okay, Homo sapien genus. Now, if you woke up tomorrow and you found out that every single person in South America wasn't actually a part of the Homo sapien genus, would you be okay with holocausting them?
Homo sapien genus. Would I be okay with holocausting them?
Okay, so to be clear, you take the view that the only thing that has changed about these people is some genus classification that they don't fall under. They're identical in all other respects. You take the view that's okay to Holocaust them.
They would have to, in order for them to be outside the genus, they would have to be radically.
No, there's no contradiction.
Wait, that's not true. Wait a second. That's not true. Right, you could have some sort of species that is, strictly very similar, at least in many regards, to ordinary humans as we see them now, but they just fall out of the genus that you're speaking of.
All humans.
Why is that logically? Are you saying that there's some contradiction there?
Right.
Are you saying there's some contradiction in the scenario I raised, where we have a type of species that is similar in many regards to humans ordinarily, except they just fall out of the genus? What's the issue there?
Well, you're basically proposing at the same time it's going to be like a category, or if I was going to play semantics, right? But overall, I would have a problem with it, right? But versus if you're gonna say what is
are you okay with the Holocaust or not?
Nope.
Okay, that's a contradiction.
How so?
Right, because it just entails that it is the case that, the trait is the genus, and it's not the case that the trait is the genus.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier.
Okay, wait. So you agree that you contradicted yourself?
I'm not here to defend factory farming. I'm here to take.
Wait, to be clear,
so lost.
you agree that there's a contradiction on your view right now.
Hang on.
That's not answering the question.
Can I clarify really quick?
Don't make me mute you. Do you agree that there's a contradiction on your view?
Contradiction in my view? No.
Hello?
I said no. I'm here to take on name. Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Do you agree that there's a contradiction on your view?
No.
Okay. Now, do you agree that do you remember what the original name to trait question was?
Would I rather, let's see. Earlier we were talking about you changed the hypothetical.
Oh my God, fucking retard. Look, the question is, what is true about the world where animals are being farmed? If true of a world where humans are being farmed, would make you say you're okay with the human holocaust. Okay. Now, the trait you named was not falling within a certain Homo sapien genus. Okay, so we just made it true in the human holocaust world that they don't fall under the Homo sapien genus, and then you said you wouldn't be okay with it, you dumbass, right? That's a contradiction.
It's because
you fucking retard. The contradiction is it is the case that that's a trait, and it's not the case that that's a trait.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
so you agree. So you agree that there's a contradiction on your view, right?
But hang on, brain them back.
Do you agree that there's a Do you agree that there's a contradiction on your view?
Oh my God! Hang on, dude. I
don't tolerate fucking slimeball fucking weasels. Do you agree there's a contradiction on your view or not?
I said I can take on name the trait, right?
Do you agree that there's a contradiction? Do you agree that there's a contradiction? Shut your fucking mouth. Do you agree that there's a contradiction on your view or not?
In the hypothetical, yes, there was a contradiction.
I don't know. Not in the hypothetical. I mean that you affirmed P and not P, dumbass. It's not a contradiction in a hypothetical world. I'm saying on your current view, there's a contradiction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you agree?
Well, again.
Do you agree or not?
Sure, I agree.
Okay, cool. All right, so now either you can name new traits that don't get you to contradicting yourself, or you can just be a dumbass and accept a contradiction on your view.
Well, no, I want to take down the problem. I want to take down the argument named trait. I don't want to really take down.
Right. So to be clear, which pathway are you going? Are you accepting the contradiction, or are you going to try to name new traits that don't contradict yourself?
Brian, do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Or are you accepting the contradiction on your view, or are you trying to name new traits, or are you trying to name new traits that don't lead you to contradiction?
If your only intention here is to run me through a hypothetical,
are you intending to name new traits that don't get you to a contradiction or not?
Can
you answer and stop being a fucking weasel?
Can you quit trying to put me on binary without trying to?
Are you going to name new traits that don't get you a contradiction or not? Just yes or no.
I named new traits that don't get me a contradiction. No.
Yeah. Okay, you don't want to name new traits. Okay, cool. You don't want to name new traits. Do you take the view that you have some critique of NTT?
Sure, I have a critique.
Okay. Now what is the fucking critique?
The critique is let's say I have a hypothetical, right? Let's say why would you save a relative versus a random animal out there, right? Why would you save your relative over the animal? If I'm going to assume that you would save your relative.
Why are you asking me stupid questions? You said you had a critique of NTT. What is the critique?
I'm giving you.
Don't ask me dumb. No. Fucking retard. Don't ask me dumb questions. Look, I take a critique. I'll just give you the semantics for what I take a critique to be. I take a critique, roughly speaking, to be a set of propositions or an argument that either shows or demonstrates that there is a contradiction in some view, or that there's some normative error that violates the norms I accept. Right? That's what I take a critique to be. So what is the criticism that you're giving right now?
The criticism is name the trait is going to fall into fallacious grounds if you're just going to name another trait that would contradict in a sense.
When you say, what do you think when you say name the trait is fallacious, what does that mean?
That means inherently I can just give more traits that would it's basically like a trait game, right? So if you give another trait, you gotta give another
When you
trait.
say, what do you mean by fallacious?
It's fallacious in the sense that it's going to be arbitrary, which
No, what do you think?
right?
What do you think the word fallacious means?
Fallacious, inherently not. Go ahead and define it for me. I mean, to me, fallacious just means that it doesn't make sense, right? It's not gonna. It's gonna be rather.
So wait, so to be clear, right now, the critique is some part of NTT doesn't make sense, so you don't understand some part of it. That's the critique.
Not really, no.
Okay,
It's
so when you
not
said it
whole-
doesn't make
it's not
sense,
whole
clearly
body.
that wasn't the critique. So what is the critique?
The critique. The critique is it's going to be inherently a system that isn't going to give you any truth value, right?
Wait, hold
So
on,
I
wait
say
a
it's
second, wait a
fallacious.
second. When you say NTT doesn't give you any truth value, what do you think that means?
It doesn't hold to any. It doesn't hold to any like. It's not going to give you whether if the moral proposition itself is true or false.
Wait, what do you? Wait,
Right.
sorry. What moral proposition?
So if you're trying to hold like what makes
What
something
moral
more
proposition? What moral proposition?
Hang on, let me explain.
What moral
that, man.
proposition?
So the proposition.
What moral
that
proposition?
the moral proposition, one's more morally applicable than another, right? So if I say
No.
well, if you-
Look, I don't know. Hold on. Like NTT. Look, the only moral propositions that somebody will, be committed to from NTT will be a proposition in this form. Like, at least if they respond to the question, with a set of traits, then the proposition they'll be committed to is that if these traits were to become true in the human Holocaust world, they would be okay with conducting the human Holocaust, or roughly along those lines. That's a moral proposition they would be committed to, and that's provided that they answer with a set of traits.
Here's the problem with that, right? Is if in NTTB, right?
Are you saying
in
that that's
essence,
not a proposition? Are you saying
Can you-
this statement, I am okay with X, is not a proposition?
I'm okay with facts isn't a it's a weird, it's a minute proposition.
Do you
gave
think?
me.
Oh, so it is a proposition.
It is
So clearly,
irrelevant.
the critique can't be something like,
That's a red herring.
from the entity question, you aren't committed to a proposition, because when you answer the question, you are committed to a proposition.
Yeah, I can arbitrarily commit you to propositions like facts.
What does arbitrarily mean there? What does arbitrarily mean there?
Arbitrarily, no reason, right? Not reason giving.
What does reason mean there?
Are you gonna keep doing what does reason?
What
mean
does
there?
reason mean there?
You know what?
What does reason mean there?
I mean by reason.
What does reason mean there?
reason? Like a
Yeah, that was the
process, process, your intention.
Wait,
Reason.
So when you say
If you need me to define
when you say it
reason,
arbitrarily
reason
commits you to a
simply
proposition,
put.
you're saying that it commits you to a proposition without a thought process?
It
Do you think like when a question is asked and you answer the question that you just like sort of spit out this disposition that you didn't think about the question? Like maybe for retards like you, maybe.
Think for a second, just will you?
Right, but NTT doesn't require somebody to not think. NTT doesn't require the person who is responding to the question to be retarded like you.
I don't think you understand what your own process is here. Like, because like if you're gonna like spit that out at me, right? And say, okay, well, I'm gonna name this trait, right? You have to name an arbitrary trait of which this is true, or else.
What does arbitrary mean there? Does arbitrary just mean? Does arbitrary just mean without thought process earlier?
Without
like
reason.
Earlier? Yeah. Look,
Without
what
reason.
and reason just means thought process there, right?
Not necessarily. No.
Then what does reason mean?
Reason can mean just necessarily like a tension giving, like value giving, right? Like so if I say like you have X, Y, or Z reasons, right, to do anything, right? Reason giving in this sense would just mean like truth value or propositional evidence, right?
Wait, wait. So you're saying that well, if reason just means like propositional, then are you saying like if somebody's asked the entity question, they aren't able to give an answer that's a proposition? Is that the idea?
No, the idea is simply put, right, is NTTB is relying on a arbitrary set of traits to put forth a to give more moral obligation.
And by arbitrary, you just meant non-propositional. Why would the traits be non-propositional? Are you stupid?
I'm not saying they're non-propositional. It's not gonna. When I say reason giving, it's not gonna be a good proposition. It can still be propositional.
Like somebody can give the response to the problem. They could say like the set of traits are X, Y, and Z. That's a proposition.
X, Y, and Z.
Now, obviously, they don't have to answer. Like they don't have to answer in a proposition. They could just like list out the traits like a list of nouns. But it's just that then like it's not even required that they have to be propositional because all you need to do is extract a set of traits. Like that's all that's required. So somebody could answer in the form of a proposition, or they could answer in the form of not a proposition.
Well, yeah, but
neither is an issue.
Like when I gave you the hypothetical earlier, right? I was going to give you, and I was going to abstract how it's fallacious, right?
Do we agree that whether or not somebody answers in the form of a proposition or not isn't an issue for NTT?
Hang on. Did you let me finish?
Do we agree that whether or not somebody answers? Do we agree that whether or not somebody answers the TP question in the form of a proposition or not is not an issue for NTT, right?
Not how this works. Let me speak.
Do we agree? Do we agree or not?
Do we agree on what premise? What are you saying?
Do we look? Do we agree that whether or not somebody answers the trait equalization question in the form of a proposition isn't an issue for NTT?
Say that again. Just repeat.
Oh my God, am I speaking too fast for you? Look, do we agree that whether or not somebody answers the trait equalization question, which just is, what is true of animals if true of humans would make you say you're okay with holocausting them? So do we agree that if somebody answers that question regardless of whether they answer in a propositional or non-propositional form, you agree that neither form of answer is an issue for the entity?
Neither form of issue is going to be a problem for NTT now.
Okay, sorry, you disagree with that?
No, I disagree.
You agree or you disagree?
I disagree. I disagree with you.
Okay, let's start with the first one. Let's say they answer in the form of a proposition. Let's say they say the set of traits are X, Y, and Z. How's that an issue for NTT?
Say that again?
Let's say they answer in the form of a proposition. So they say, when the question is asked to them, they say the set of traits are X, Y, and Z. Where X, Y, and Z are just some like set of traits. What is the issue for NTT there?
NTT.
Yeah, NTT.
Yeah, NTT, name the trait, right? So what's going to be
what is the issue for NTT there?
To me, it's just going to it's question begging, really.
Right? Are you fucking retarded? Question begging is a property of arguments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
NTT is not an argument, you fucking dumbass.
I mean, you're using it in an argument form. So
it's a dialogue flow, idiot. It's not an argument.
Dialogue flow.
Like, look, you presumably the view that you're taking is that if a question in NTT in the dialogue flow is asked and somebody gives an appropriate answer, you're taking the view that that's somehow an issue, you fucking moron. But clearly, if somebody gives an appropriate answer, then they're doing what they're supposed to do. Right? So isn't an issue. Because that's what they're supposed to do.
All right, we have Ham. We have Ham here as a palate cleanser.
Before we move on here, Naturalist, do you think that there are any contradictions that are true?
Any contradictions that are true?
Yeah.
Like true contradictions that exist? Not necessarily, no. I don't think in a metaphysical sense there are true contradictions, but I think there are language contradictions.
Okay, so then you'd agree with the following statement. If your view contains a contradiction, then your view is necessarily false.
Sure.
Okay, so...
But where I think NTTB is being used fallaciously.
I heard a contradiction that you gave, which was the trait is the species distinction, the homogeneous, and a trait isn't the homogeneous. So I would say that your moral view is false, and I think that that's not being used fallaciously. And if fallacious just means it's confusing, I can't make sense of contradiction, so I can't make sense of your view.
Interesting.
His critique is if somebody asked an NTT question and the person answers it, that's somehow an issue. That's his critique. Only a fucking retard would say something like that. Well, because presumably if I ask a question, what the person is supposed to do is answer.
Brain, I just want a response to what I said.
Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Presumably that was informative, right? Naturalist?
In a sense, right? But not really.
Do you agree that at least the way it was, maybe if your view isn't formulated that way, or if you misspoke, then
I think I probably misspoke, but yeah.
Okay, so it's because it's either the case if you're naming
like again when I came up here, I didn't come here for the hypothetical necessarily.
Okay,
I came to go over the what is NTT, name the trait, right?
Well, when you're responding to NTT, the question is asking what's the sufficient trait stack that would, where you would bite the bullet on. So
where I would bite the bullet on.
Yeah. I mean, did you give the sufficient trait stack?
Not. I gave it a little bit in the beginning, right? Like again, like I'm gonna obviously.
Can you restate it?
I mean, I'd bite the bullet where it's like basically the species like resembles humanity. Then I would save it, but mainly because it resembles humanity.
But what is the sufficient trait stack?
It resembles humanity. Right.
Well, clearly
that's my idea of it.
Wait. Sorry. When you say resembles humanity, there, do you mean like it looks like a human, or like how it acts? Like what do you mean?
If it looks, acts, like a variety of things. Like you can say like you can change little features of it. No, but overall, if it functions like humanity, I'm gonna save it. Like.
Well, the question's asking for like sufficient conditions. So are you saying, like what are you saying now? Are you saying if it looks like a human, then it's sufficient to moral value? Or are you saying if it acts like human, like what is it a conjunction of the both? Like what is it now?
Say again?
Yeah, so it's asking for the sufficient conditions. So are you saying that like if something looks like a human, then that's sufficient to moral value? Or are you saying it's a conjunction of like it looking like a human and acting like a human? Or,
I mean, the conditions are going to be varied in that sense, yeah. I mean, it's not going to just be one given trait that's going to like give me the value, right? Because like,
I asked you.
What I'm deeming as valuable in the sense is going to be like arbitrary in my opinion, right?
You can
give an infinite set of traits.
Right? And you said yes. Like I gave you two. I gave you two things there, and you said yes. Like I'm really confused on what it is. Are you saying that acting like a human is sufficient to moral value? Are you saying looking like a human is sufficient to moral value, or are you saying that it's a conjunction of the both?
Conjunction of both.
Okay. So, yeah. Wait, where did Mason go?
Wait, so you're saying if somebody, hold on, just to be clear, your position is that if there's a being that has the intellectual properties that are similar to humans, that being is okay to kill as long as it doesn't resemble a human physically? Because you took the conjunction position, which is to say that if you don't have one, then it's okay to kill.
Well, the conjunction position can be basically it has the intelligence, but it can maybe not look like a human, and you can. If it doesn't have the intelligence, right, then maybe you can.
But then that's not a conjunction.
He said.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't care. I mean, that's like a non-point. It's nothing.
How's that? I don't understand. How's that a non-point?
Well, because I don't know where you're going with it. It's not clear like what impact this has on my argument. It seems like you still concede to Marx's view.
Wait,
which surprises me.
Okay.
It looks like I don't have to concede anything. Like apart from a couple confusions, where I thought you were talking about a different section or whatever.
Oh my God, this guy is so funny. Okay, I'm gonna give you the argument explicitly. Okay, and then you could deny one of my premises, right? Or you have to concede the conclusion. So basically, I'm saying this is what I'm saying. I'm saying